Good evening and welcome to another video in the Artful Coder series. Tonight we're going to cover, as part of our clean architecture solution, we want to include some better response handling, and to do that we're going to need to code up another use case. So this is simply going to be, so do add new class, this is going to be get. It's going to turn in a list of cars. We're not going to try and do all the use cases, but we may do. So let's have a look. So we call this get cars. As we're getting more than one, it's plural. What we're going to do is we're going to come up to here. We're going to be using the mediator pattern again as well. And we're going to public records get cars request. And that is going to handle come from I request, and what we're going to return is IEnumerable type cars as well. And then we're just going to put some semicolons there. So let's go into domain moderns cars. Sorry, I do apologise. Car, and it's not seeing that, so let's go into our domain and we'll just copy this out. Go back to our cars, get cars, paste that in up there. Says using, I do apologise, that. There you go. And then this will need to have a base entity on this. No, we haven't done inheritance, so we'll just stick with that. There's a reason you may want to do a base entity or inject stuff is when you're doing that, when you're handling stuff. So I request handler. Now what are we passing in? So we're doing the get as request. And what we're passing back is IEnumerable car. And it's going to complain, so what we're going to do is we're going to go to our add car. Go for no parameters, we just go for DB context. Let's copy that from this one, from add car, it'll be the same. So we'll just say get cars handler. I'm just going to copy that into there, and we're going to have public pass a type IEnumerable the type handle. We pass in the get cars request, and we will also have cancellation token, yes, we'll take that. And we declare a brand new cars equals new list for type car. Okay, and we're going to return cars. And what is this going to do? So we're going to try. We'll get into login and other bits as well in the future. So just do cat exception, and we're just going to say cars equals contact DB context dot to list. There you go. So why is it not liking that? Okay, so it has to be IEnumerable. It's not enumerable. That is right. Well, because drop that in there. There you go. So what we're going to return here is that's our actual use case. The next thing we need to do is go into a web API layer. And this is going to be a new method called public async pass. Type I enumerable. Type car. And this is get cars. And we're going to pass in I sender, and as parameters get cars request handler. Okay, and we should say return await sender dot send handler. Okay, turn up. Okay. It's not liking cars. So if we go to our get cars, take, oh no, because you don't pass the domain objects back. So what we have to do is we have to go up to here in application layer, do add new folder models, and do that and say new add folder cars, and say add new item, new item, car, DTO, add, and we're just going to replicate our domain model here, which you do want an ID exception, stuff like that as well. So just go in here. But we don't want the max, we don't need these up here, so we'll get rid of that. We'll take this out as well, all of it out. We'll take these bits out as well. Okay, so what it's going to do is in our use case, there's a car service, we're going to say using, and that is what we're passing back, and it's car DTO. Okay, that's not going to work. I know why it won't work. So what we need to do is go back into here, and we simply can't do this. So what we need to do is let's convert it to a list, so it's a loop through this. So for each, excuse me, for each bar in cars, then what we're going to do is say cars db, and what we're going to do here is you'd want to put this in a sub function, so we'll do that quickly. So let's do private, and it's going to pass a type back of car DTO in the application, handle map car to car DTO. And what we're going to pass in is our car. So car, there you go. And create a brand new object up here called car equals new car DTO. Say return car, like that, do a try, and we say we want that as recurrent, so DTO. Data transform object. Okay, so let's say car DTO, and all you're simply going to assign a one side to the other. So let's do make equals car dot make car DTO dot model equals car dot model. Right, so typing car dot model. We'll just do those two, fill the rest in yourself later. So then all we do here is we say var car DTO equals fish. See how tidy that is now? We've got a one-line function there because we've subbed it, and you just say cars dot add, and it's still going to complain in a minute. I know why. Okay, because the type is different. We're not passing back the type of car. We're passing back BTO car BTO, and it's car BTO. Okay. Something's not happened. Happy. Okay, so let's do patch there. Patch that back up there, so GTO. Ah! I don't know what it's saying here. Due to its protection from public class. Oh, public. We do it, cars handler. We're in the class, do handle. Get cars request, pass that in there. Let's just check that. Just do a rebuild on that. I'm not happy with that. Let's do the car service. So get cars. Let's work through each of these. So why does it like that? Yeah. No, you can't move that. So let's have a look. That's fine. So test. Okay, so why is it not looking that then? Well, let's have a think about this. So let's go and look at our car's DTO. That's fine. It's because it's a class of internal. See if that fixes some of the errors. Okay, so let's do a build again. Do debug. Not debug, we need to finish the service off. Services in here. There you go. So that's all there. So we've got that. So if we debug and run our web API, start the instant. Okay, so now we don't have the import. You know why? Schoolboy error. Just take a time to think what's happened. So why won't we have it mapped? And the simple answer is, in our service, we haven't added a definition up here. So before there, we're going to come dot get car. Let's get cars. Let's do that. What? You know why as well? Because we need in our service, in our application, we haven't mapped common section cars models. Okay, so what we need to do is go into endpoints. We've only done that there, but here we've not mapped. Where is it? This one. We've only mapped our post. So that's the next thing we need to do. It can't find it, so we need to map that. So let's have a look. So that's within our web API. So so it's going to be a new method. So let's map get. So let's put get above post. Okay, so let's do AS 09.03.24 methods below added. And we say public static by endpoint root builder map get, and it's just going to be the same as the post. So we're just going to quickly borrow this and drop there. So you need to go into your eyeball extensions, map the post methods, and it is just does pretty much the same thing. So I'm going to copy that, save that, and then if we run our web API up now, we should find it runs. And what I mean by it is we should have a new endpoint. Let's have a look. Okay, so something's broken. In Swagger we've got set broken, so let's have a look at that. Oh, I know why. Very simple. Very simple. Go here. We want and we don't want to map post in a get. Save that. Go back over here and run that. So debug. And that should now, hopefully. There you go. So now we've got two endpoints on our web API. Try it out. Execute. Gotta think about it a minute. There you go. So that's all of the cars it's bringing across. So you can see there we've got a car. So that's our API endpoint with another use case built. So within our cars down here, we need to create a new function. And just as sod's law, we're going to do the same again. So we're going to say s09.03.24 methods below added. And this time it's simply going to be, yes, you're going to love this. So public async task type HTTP response message get cars sync. That passes link in. We say var get cars response equals new h. There you go, and we're going to try do that, and we say cat except we'll do all the fancy bits later. Okay, so what we don't need is we don't need that there, so go do that, and we don't need that. And we're going to need we're going to need this as well. We're going to say KS 09.03.24 added public task HTTP response message, and this is get async string URL. So we'll put it in there. That's that. Okay, so we've got that there, and we want get. Why is it not working there? Don't return a value. So what we're going to do is return that. So it's going to give us a HTTP message. And the next thing we need to do is we need to tidy this code up because we need to make it so it's more meaningful. So let's go have a look at this. So what we've got is we're going to want a base response. So what this means is when we start to build this out, there'll be commonality between what we're returning. We've already got a model of our car DTO, so we've got our model. We don't have other bits in there. So under core, create a new folder called add folder common. And we can create a single class in this called add class, call this base response.cs, and all this class is going to do is have some properties to handle the error. So we can say public string title get set string empty public string status get, no, we don't want string there, we want int. Let's go initialize to 0 there, and we want public string. Apologise. Visual Studio Fix up string detail mail. And we say get set equals string dot empty there. And we're going to have a method in here called public async pass of base response. Let's use get base response from HTTP, and it's going to be a HTTP response message. Fish the base response equals new base response, and we do a try, and we're going to say cat exception $E. Going to do that, and then we're going to say var response right response. Right. Going to say base response equals await JSON serializer. So we need that up here. So we need to include the using system.text.json. Then we can come down here and say, let's just type again. So JSON serializer dot deserialize async base response body, and then we're saying new JSON serial options, property name case equals true. There you go. So doesn't return it, so we need to put that back in there. Okay, and it would help if we put the return keyword in. I say that because in the VB6 days, or VB script, if you return something the same as your method name, it would just work. So what do we need next? So this is our base response. Create a new class called base response. It's going to pass that back. So the next thing we need is some return models. And what I mean by this is they'll inherit from our base response. So we don't have return models. So return models. And what we're going to do is we're going to do add new item, no, cancel new folder, call this add new folder, cars, and we're going to do right click called add new item, and this is called get cars response. There you go, and it's going to inherit from base response, and it's just going to return a simple public void enumerable of type DTO, and that is just going to be cars. There you go. So that's the first bit you need, and then within your service, we're actually going to bring that in. This is just quite a nice way of doing it, I find, when you do it this way. So, if you go back to our service, so just getting a response. We're not checking if that's successful, and we're not checking anything. So what we're going to change this to now is a different type of response. So get cars response, and that's going to complain because it's not of a, and we're going to get cars response. So once we've got our cars, we need to check if there wasn't any errors, etc., and things like that. So what we do is say if response, type it, response dot, if it's successful, then what we want to say is we want to say var response body equals await, and we want it as a string. So response dot content dot async. Yeah, so then we say var server object equals await JSON serializer. We're not going to do that. We're just going to say what we're trying to get from it. So it is enumerable of pi DTO. And we're going to say in here new JSON options, and we're going to say down here property name, okay, it's true, put that down there, got that out. Okay, so write that down. Let's say list one. Just need some chevrons. And then what we're going to do is we're going to say if server object is null, then we're going to say get dot parse. This is where you'll love this. And then we just say server object. There you go. And we're going to set the status of it. Get card response dot status equals 200. And if it isn't successful, then what we're going to do is we're going to say get, no, I didn't mean to do that, I do apologise. This is the side it wants to put a catch in there. So get, I do apologise, it's because else get cast response equals await, and we're missing the step here. So what we need next as well is a way to process the hadn't failed response. Let's say has failed response handler dot handle fails get cars response. We're passing the response, passing response. Okay, sorted. So that will in theory pass it back. There's a couple of the steps we need to do next. So under our handlers, we're going to need to go and put in a new bit of logic. We need a new interface as well. So under interface, it's got interfaces, cars. So let's go find our code. Let's have a look. So create a brand new interface under here called add class. Don't give the interface, you can overtype it. And what I want you to do is call this cars failed response handler. Okay, so add, and then within this is at the moment it's only got a simple message, and it is public pass get. Okay, and this is going to be handle. So we need our car service again because we want this. We want to copy that there like that, and it's going to take in a HTTP response. There's response. There you go. And within your actual handlers, you'll need to create an implementation of that. So we've got handlers, a new one called add folder cars. Add a brand new class in here. Add let's go new items. This is cars failed response handler like that, and it implements by cars go claims we haven't implemented this method. So what we do here is come into here, come into here, copy this because we want this here, copy that. Okay, get cars response, and it's going to be an async. And within our implementation detail, what we're going to do is we're going to say, so task is get cars response equals new get there, and then we do try like so. I'm just going to put patch there again. We'll put logging in later. I'm just trying to save a bit of time, so I'm not so you're not watching me for 3 or 4 hours or something. So we're going to say get, just get cars. There you go. Just need to set it. So up here you're going to say base response equals await get. I'm going to pass in the response. So this is just a inherited function. I'm going to say get class response dot status title. I'm going to say get class response dot status, and get car's response dot detail. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is we need to add it into our configure services. So we're going to do down here, we're going to say services dot add scopes by cars, and it's going to be a type of cars file response handler. Happy days. And then within our service, yeah, that's because complain. We're going to put that in shortly. So within the constructor for this class, we're going to have that. We're going to have a nice way of doing that. And what we're going to do here is we're going to add a line just here, say private that read only. So we just injected that. I'm not injecting, so failed. So let's configure services a second. Just grab that. I'm going to drop it into our service. And this is ours. Failed. Do that, but don't forget to inject it inside if you. There you go. There you go. So what we'll do here is to keep this so it's consistent. Is we'll take that. And then bish, there you go. So that's kind of hooked that up. So what we'll do for just for namesake is we're going to repeat this thing the same with the add, because we want to see if there's any errors or anything like that why it can't process it. So the add is the same as again. We get the response back and we're saying the server object. So all it's going to be is simply we need a new response. So we need a new interface on here. We need a new interface option there. That's our interface. So, oh, yes, that is it. So what we do is we need a new response. Here we go. So, add new class, new item, add response. And we'll do that. And that's going to inherit from base response. So, and all that's going to have different is public int new ID. That's just be a get set there. So we now got a response. So we now need to add a new method, which is down here. And this is take that out and do add car response. I'll get add car. There you go. So we put the other one in, and then in here we want the implementation of that. Again, it's pretty much the same. You could use types here, normalized types, but just for sake, and we just say car response does pretty much the same thing, but what we're going to return here is add car response. And just for the fullness of time, we'll do add car response. Okay. So we've got one for each. We could just call this whatever you want, it doesn't matter. And then we go back to our service. We've got a response. This passes a, yeah, okay. Well, I think, no, it has to be, let me just get this right, it has to be list, as you can't. So in the JSON serializer options, you can't deserialize IEnumerables, can't interface it, so you have to do it as actual items, if that makes sense. So no, this might work. We'll see how we get on. So IEnumerable, enumerable. We'll leave it as that for now. We'll see what we get. Okay, let's have a look. So we've got our cars file response handler there. We've got our two responses just there. We need a new interface method because we haven't had it in there, which is a bit naughty. So we'll just put that in there now. And we'll flatten out our cars one as well. So let's go up here. Let's do that. And we can't do async because it's interface. And we're inheriting that in our service. Okay, so we now want to say here, I want to say that our response. And I'm going to say new car response. But what we're going to do, no, we're going to, okay, what's the best way? Passes back an ID. So, yeah, that's right. We'll pass an add, then we'll do a get. So in our add car response, we've got a new ID, which I'll explain shortly. So within our cars.class, we've injected that into our UI so it can see it. So in dependency inject it. So let's go to cars.razor. We've got a car service there. Add new car doesn't do much. So that's going to return a type because we haven't told it. And it's add car. Do that's going to break that. Go into there. Let's go to cars. Okay, so we need a new method now. So what we need is a new property up here. So we're going to say ks 09.03.2024 line below added. I'm going to say don't need to inject links from the hand there, so public. And we want by enumerable the type DTO, and we want to say cars equals new list depth. Okay, so what we want is, okay, so let's have a new function, private function, private. What does it return? It doesn't do anything. So just going to say, let's go protected, 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 then void, get cars. Okay, let's do that. And we'll call it async. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a try patch in here, ex, all that. Now, what we want to do is we simply want to say we want, yeah, got it. So what we say is car response cars dot get cars async, and we want to say await let's wait. And then what we're going to do is we're going to simply say, let's say if response dot, I think there's something we say status equals 200, then what we're going to do is we're going to say up here, cars, there you go. So that's, we're just setting it to the object here of service else my notification dot update message and its response dot detail. There you go. And then what we want to do next is we need to find our file in there. So we're going to look at all of that. Okay, so we should be getting somewhere. So let's have a look. Okay, so we've got that my notification message. And also I just forgot what we need to do in here is we need to copy that out, and every time we update something called state, that's change function. And all we want to say here, same with this again as well. So we're just going to say what are the cars, and when we load up the component or the code behind, we need to override a function. So this is protected async override pass task and direct task on initialize async. It would help. Okay, so all we're going to have in here is a try, catch, exception, and all we're going to do is this. Very simple, people, very simple. And we'll do that validation handling a bit later as well. So just when this page loads up, we're going to get our cars, and that's going to do that. What we want is, if it's valid input, we want to say response there equal to weight that. If response dot status, then do that. Then we want to say we want to call our function here. So each time, yes, you could have one car and get them, that's fine. Else, and we're just going to borrow this from down here. We just want to see what the error is, basically. There you go. So we now have, let's see if there's one more thing we need to do. So all we're going to do down here somewhere is create a row. Oh, not div. That should be div. And we say div class equals row div class equals and we'll say h3 existing, like that. And we'll say div class equals row div class equals poll, and we're just going to do a simple table class equals table dash right, and all that, T head, TR, TD, make, dollar, TD, model. Let's have a think next. And then T body, we have T body, and all we're going to simply do is say at for each var car in cars, and we're going to have a TR there, TD R dot, so it was make, and it would help if I put that in. Okay, so just copy that and do model, save that. So let's give it a try. Don't have any errors. Debug. So let's see what happens when we run this up. Debug. So this is our application. Hasn't returned the cars. So why is that? So let's have a look. So we've got cars async. Got a new notification. Says even getting in here. Let's have a look. Let's just refresh that. Oh, it has, just a bit slow. Just a bit slow. So it's done that. So this is where you start putting a loading symbol in, which I've done before. So you know it's doing so. So now if we say, oh, Astra, and click add, it's going to try and go through. So let's just take some of these breakpoints out. Continue. Ah, we haven't finished this off. So what we need to do is we'll just stop it there. So posting that up, and we're just going to say, we're just going to finish this off now. So that's what we're missing. So if response dot is success code, then what we're going to do is say, in fact, we can just copy this. We're going to say that, make it smaller, read scene. It's just going to be a type int server object property true, and we're just going to say add car response. Okay, so we just want, just going to pass server object. We just want to do it just non-nullable type. So we're just going to say server object, copy that, do that, and else we're just going to report this via our failed response handler. We do that, and we do failed, add car. We don't want to set cars there, we just want to set dot UID. Okay, so that's that padded out, which we did admittedly forget to do. So we go back to cars. So if it's 200, get cars here, display the message. So we plumbed it in there, but this is from when you get bigger projects, the more stuff like this you have to do. So let's do, let's go into here and say debug, start new instance. You can see our Swagger UI is loaded up. So next we're going to go into cars UTI UI. do start new instance. Okay, so if we go back into our cars, take some of this out, do continue, give it a second. So let's say Astra, no, Fox. Pick add, give it a second, it's come to a code debugger, hit forwards. So let's try and add a car, go through all of this. There you go. So you can see we've got our cars on there. And then the next thing we want to do is an edit and probably delete as well. My train of thought these days is to have your add on one page, your list with an edit button, and your delete tucked away. If it's something you don't want accidentally clicking over here, then just put it away somewhere. So again, thank you so much for watching an exciting video in the Artful Coder series. I hope this has been very helpful for you, and I do apologise it stretched slightly over an hour. But yeah, I really hope you enjoy this video, and again, thanks for watching.